Have you ever felt trapped in a role you didn't choose? Like everyone around you only sees you as one thing, and no matter what you do, you can't seem to break free. That's the story of Wreck-It Ralph, a video game villain who's tired of being the bad guy. He sees the hero of his game, Fix-It Felix Jr., get all the praise, the parties and the medals, while he's left alone in a pile of bricks. This constant rejection has left Ralph feeling isolated and resentful. He dreams of being loved and accepted, but the other villains in his support group at Badanon warn him against it. They tell him to accept his role, saying, "I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad." But for Ralph, that's just not enough. He believes that if he can just win a medal, a shiny symbol of heroism, everyone will finally see him differently. This deep-seated need for validation isn't just about being popular, it's about his own self-worth. He thinks an external prize can fix an internal problem, a struggle many of us know all too well. The breaking point comes during the 30th anniversary party for his game. Ralph, desperate to be included, crashes the celebration. But his attempt to join the fun only causes chaos. He sees himself depicted on the anniversary cake as a monstrous villain, reinforcing his deepest fears of being an outcast. This visual rejection fuels his frustration, leading to a destructive outburst that wrecks the party and the cake. It's a classic case of envy and social rejection boiling over. His actions, while destructive, are really just a cry for help, a clumsy attempt to be seen and understood. This moment highlights a crucial part of Ralph's character. When faced with rejection, his first instinct is to lash out and break things, ironically solidifying his identity as the bad guy. This cycle of rejection and destruction is what he so desperately wants to escape. Driven by this desperation, Ralph makes a bold and dangerous decision. He's going to game jump. He plans to sneak into another game to win the one thing he believes will change everything: a hero's medal. This quest isn't just about proving his peers wrong. It's about proving to himself that he can be more than just a wrecker. His motivation is completely misguided. He's chasing external validation, thinking a piece of metal can grant him the happiness and acceptance he craves. This is a pivotal moment in his journey. It shows the incredible risks he's willing to take to escape his label. He's about to break the most fundamental rule of the arcade: never leave your own game. But for Ralph, the potential reward of being seen as a hero outweighs any danger. He's all in on a quest to redefine himself, no matter the cost. So, Ralph finds his way into a first-person shooter called Hero's Duty. It's a gritty, intense world, a far cry from the simple 8-bit life he knows. And through a series of chaotic, clumsy, and frankly unheroic events, he actually manages to get a medal. But he doesn't earn it through bravery or skill. He essentially exploits a glitch, accidentally launching himself into the winner's circle. The irony is thick. In his quest to become a hero, his first heroic act is a total fluke. This moment perfectly illustrates how little Ralph understands what being a hero truly means. He thinks the title and the prize are all that matter, not the actions or character behind them. His shortcut to glory immediately backfires, as he and a dangerous cybug are accidentally jettisoned from the game, putting not only his own existence at risk, but the entire arcade. This is the first step in a long journey toward understanding that true worth isn't about a title. It's about the choices you make. His escape pod crashes into a game that couldn't be more different from Hero's Duty, the candy-coated racing world of Sugar Rush. Here, his hard-won medal is immediately snatched by a mischievous little girl named Vanellope von Schweetz. Vanellope is a glitch, an error in the game's code that causes her to flicker and teleport. Because of this, she's an outcast, bullied by the other racers and forbidden from competing by the ruler of Sugar Rush, King Candy. Her isolation perfectly mirrors Ralph's own struggle. She's been labeled as a mistake, something broken that doesn't belong, just as Ralph has been labeled a villain. Their first meeting is a clash of goals. Ralph just wants his medal back, and Vanellope sees it as her ticket into the race she's always dreamed of winning. This sets up a reluctant partnership, a dynamic where two outcasts, each with their own selfish motives, are forced to work together. The deal is simple. Ralph has to help Vanellope build a cart and win the race to get his medal back. This is where their journey truly begins to intertwine. At first, Ralph is just using her to achieve his own goal, but as they work together, something starts to change. They are two sides of the same coin, both fighting against the labels society has forced upon them. Vanellope is seen as a flaw in the system, and Ralph as its designated destroyer. Their alliance becomes more than just a business transaction. It's the start of a genuine friendship. Helping Vanellope forces Ralph to think beyond himself. For the first time, he's not just trying to prove he can be a good guy. He's actively helping someone else. This partnership is the first step in Ralph's cognitive restructuring, a fancy term for changing the way you think about yourself and the world. Through their shared challenges, Ralph and Vanellope start to confront their own negative self-beliefs. They're both stuck in a loop of cognitive distortions. Ralph has engaged in labeling, defining his entire identity by the single word, villain. Vanellope has internalized the idea that because she's a glitch, she's worthless. But as they spend time together, they start to challenge these toxic thoughts. Their bond shows how powerful supportive relationships can be in fostering personal growth. When Ralph helps Vanellope build her own racing cart, the Lickety-Split, it's a huge turning point. Ralph, the wrecker, is now a creator. He's not destroying things out of anger. He's building something to help a friend achieve her dream. This act of creation is a powerful symbol of his own internal transformation. He's moving away from his destructive programming and towards something new, connection and empathy. But while Ralph is growing, King Candy manipulates him, preying on his deepest insecurities. He tells Ralph that if Vanellope, a glitch, ever wins and becomes a playable character, the game will be seen as broken and unplugged, leaving her homeless. He convinces Ralph that the only way to protect her is to crush her dream. This puts Ralph in an impossible position. His instinct to protect his new friend clashes with her greatest desire. In a heartbreaking scene, he does what he thinks is right. He wrecks her cart. He tells her she can't be a racer, trying to save her from a fate he believes is inevitable. He's trying to be a good guy, a protector, but his actions are purely destructive. He breaks Vanellope's heart and their friendship, proving that good intentions can still lead to devastating outcomes. This is Ralph's lowest point, a moment where his misunderstanding of heroism causes the most pain. Devastated and guilty, Ralph returns to his own game, only to find it's about to be unplugged. Without its bad guy, the game is broken. He finally sees the truth in the Badanon Creed. He has a vital role to play. He also discovers that King Candy is actually Turbo, a rogue character who sabotaged Sugar Rush and tried to delete Vanellope's code, turning her into a glitch. She wasn't a mistake. She was the rightful princess of the game. Armed with this truth, Ralph knows what he has to do. He rushes back to save Vanellope and the entire arcade from the cybugs he accidentally unleashed. He frees Felix from King Candy's dungeon, and together, they fix Vanellope's cart. This is where Ralph and Felix's relationship finally begins to heal, as they work together against a common enemy. The climax of the film is Ralph's ultimate act of heroism. The cybugs are overrunning Sugar Rush, and the only way to stop them is to trigger a volcanic eruption of Diet Cola and Mentos Beacon that will destroy them. But someone has to be the bait. Ralph climbs to the top of the volcano, ready to sacrifice himself. As he plummets toward the lava, he looks at Vanellope, safe in her fixed cart, and recites the Badanon Creed with a new understanding. I'm bad, and that's good. I will never be good, and that's not bad. There's no one I'd rather be than me. In this moment, he fully embraces his identity. He's not trying to be a hero. He's just being himself, and his actions are what make him truly heroic. He realizes that heroism isn't about winning a medal. It's about being willing to make the ultimate sacrifice for someone you care about. Of course, he's saved at the last second by Vanellope, who has now mastered her glitching ability. The volcano erupts, the cybugs are destroyed, and the arcade is saved. Vanellope is restored as the princess of Sugar Rush, but she chooses to remain a racer, staying true to herself. And Ralph? He returns to his game, not with a medal, but with something far more valuable: self-acceptance. He's no longer chasing external validation. He enjoys his job, his friendships, and most importantly, himself. The story ends with Ralph understanding that labels don't define you. Villain, hero, glitch princess, they're just words. It's your actions, your choices, and your relationships that shape who you are. And for Ralph, that's the greatest prize of all. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as I did, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more content.